Can you please elaborate on dealing with fear tied with past traumas during childhood with OBE, as touched on with Simona? Yes, or with Stephanie, I'm sorry. Where to start with the deconditioning of fear? Though I would say that we have to start by doing value. Why am I saying we have to start with value? Let me explain. There is a reason. That is not yet the deconditioning. No. But we have to start with value because sometimes we feel energetically vulnerable. There are some sort of energy components, pockets of energy, connections that we do with our past. I'm not referring necessarily to past lives. Sometimes it is, but our past, they're in our childhood, in the neighborhood, the house where we were when we were very young. And those energy fields that create pockets that we connect with them, they bring to us some sort of it's almost like a remembrance, a memory that has a feeling, but so diffuse feeling that we do not know exactly how to express. This makes us feel vulnerable. So when we practice value, we will experience some sort of stability that even when we connect with any of these fields, we will be able to remain stable. So this gives us the confidence we need to work on those aspects of fear. If any sort of non-physical presence, like spirits, entity that we sensed by them, or if the type of energy that we would pick at that time in our childhood are still present, sometimes not the same, but the same pattern, the same type, then that is, I will tell you from experience, that is hard because it's almost really like we are so conditioned that the sensation, like jumps, the reaction jumps inside of us, and poof, when we see, we are already trying to stop the OBE. I would say that emitting energy in a situation like that, you see that this is not a deconditioning, it's preparing the environment for us to be able to decondition. Otherwise, we are trying to get rid of a trauma, but there is still some lingering effect, or worse, some residue of the very condition that caused the trauma still present. So to decondition it, we need to first remove the information, the residue of this energy that would cause the trauma. And then we will work on deconditioning our brain, ourselves. So you observe, is there any residue still present? I'd say probably yes. In this condition that we are discussing here. So you need to work with energy. Value, but it has to be like, I will do my part. And in the beginning, it's a bit of a mental struggle almost, because I like to say that we are like arm wrestling with whatever, we don't even know what, right? Did it ever happen to you guys? So you try to do value and your concentration goes, and then you stop feeling the energies, and then you feel asleep. And then when you observed, oh, you fell asleep, you didn't even notice. And you start again, you don't even know where to start from. Yes, welcome aboard. Depending on the energetic condition around, on the type of, I would say, old energies that we may still have in our energy field, depending on the type of environment we are in. Sometimes it's not us, it's the environment around. These things may happen. So I like to illustrate it as an arm wrestling. So if you are arm wrestling with someone, I will here represent it, you are making a big effort here and you are not progressing. Okay, so you say, no, I'm not being able to do it. My vision of this is completely different. My vision, you are doing it and it's giving you a lot of trouble. You are having to make a lot of effort to maintain here. But have you ever thought that whatever are the forces, energy, environment, entities from past, from yours, from others, doesn't matter. whatever are the forces that are making it hard for you, they have to apply the same force here in order to stop you. So the more you standing here, the more you remain willing it, the more you decide inside of yourself that you won't give up, the more you are winning. So being here, struggling, is winning. It is winning. But when you say, I cannot do it, I'm going to do another tech. I'm just going to meditate. I'm not saying meditation is bad, but if you're not being able to develop, don't give up for meditation, because that is not a good measure, because in meditation you are passive. So then whatever were the forces there, they will just stay around. It's comfortable to them. So if you say, I will just give in or relax for today, I do again tomorrow, bam, and then that's it. For that session, you didn't do it well enough. But next time, when you are doing the arm wrestling, think all of these forces, and some of them are very conscious. For whatever reason, I can discuss here for 6 hours what would be the motives and the reasons. But to discuss this, we need to have a lot of previous information. Otherwise, it becomes just an information that is being stated and you cannot verify. But when you are here and you give up, whoever is there, they say, yeah, I can insist. He will give up. He gives up eventually. It's like when you have a friend that is used to insist with you on something, insist, until you do what she or he wants. How are you going to change that? Think, if it were a friend, how would you change that? By saying no, 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 no. A friend, in some cases, you can just say, go out of my house and never come back. But when we are talking about an energy connection, an energy field, an energy pocket, and spiritual presence, spiritual entity, how do you put out of your house? You have to put out of your energy field. You have to create a condition in which that specific frequency of energy or type of spiritual presence no longer can approach you, but can interact, can penetrate your energy field. And this is a process. This is exactly the process that we are going to work with. I'm saying this because the deconditioning is just practicing what we practice. Practicing leaving the body, sensations will come, we will react, you will wake up, but you get used. It repeats and repeats, you get used. But without this previous work of cleansing, adjusting, settling all of that, it may be almost impossible, because that stimulus is still there. And when we observe, we are already reacting to it. In like 10 days, 1 week, you will be receiving the invitation for the new course that I am giving. It's not a course to help you leave the body, but it's a course to prepare your energies for a super stable energy field, yourself, your environment, knowing the obstacles that you have imposed inside of yourself, knowing the challenge that you may be experiencing that comes from outside, from other people, from relationships, from connections of people that you may have encountered in the past and even past lives, from entities present. So that is what we want to dig and cleanse and adjust and harmonize. So it's almost like a voyage inwards, adjusting, and outwards. I love the results of it. So I'm just saying, because if you are interested, I already mentioned to you, but make sure you are registered to my newsletter. That's how you will learn about it. Okay.